Best way to manage disruptive unit holders. So the committee has an obligation or a mandate really to disclose what it's doing to unit owners and be transparent. And it does that through making all of its decisions either at meetings or by a vote outside of a committee meeting. Both of those things go to all owners and they can't opt out of it. You have to disclose it to them. They have to get it, whether they read it or not. Obviously, we can't control that. But there is a way that the committee is forced to involve owners in its decision-making process. Owners don't necessarily get to vote on most things, but they need to be informed about it. Usually disruptive unit owners are disruptive because they don't like something that the committee is doing. Sometimes those people have a point and the committee could adjust its approach. But other times they're just difficult for the sake of being difficult, or they don't like an answer, but it is a correct answer and they're not backing down about it. So probably aside from, psychoanalyzing those people, I would say use the process of decision making to your advantage. If the committee is required to make decisions at meetings and the owner constantly comes and shouts at the meetings and brings their friends and they're disruptive in a physical sense, then switching to making decisions either via Teams or via electronic voting instead, where there's not an opportunity to yell at each other, that might be a way that you can just take some of the heat out of that situation. Otherwise, there are bylaws that bodies corporate can adopt to limit the amount of communication from owners. And there's been some cases where, owners were sending 50 emails a day to the committee, and they put a bylaw in that said you can only send, one email per fortnight, and it can't be more than 500 words, just to try and cut down on the amount of stuff that the committee was getting from these people. Committee members are not responsible, or they're not required to respond to individual unit owners. Unit owners can submit motions, and the committee does have to respond to motions, but the owners can only submit 6 a year. So they use up their 6 and then they've got to just, keep quiet for the rest of the year. So there are some legal limits on actual motions that the committee must deal with, but anybody is able to send you as many emails as they want, and you're welcome to ignore them or skim read them and take out from them anything that is of use. Some people have good ideas but just go about it in a terrible way and they make enemies. But sometimes what they're getting at still has a little bit of merit. So there's never a right answer to this. You often just are making the best of a difficult situation and hoping that you may not end up with a fully harmonious community where everybody gets along, but just having minimal opportunity for, arguing and name calling and emails circulating about, the terrible thing that the committee's done to the trees or whatever the gripe is. Often just a manageable solution is the ultimate goal there.